All right, we're recording. So I just wanted to thank everyone for coming to our team call today. A lot of exciting things have been happening this past day and this past week. Everyone's really hustling their butts. Um, so we can totally make Elite happen. We're so close, and I think I have an announcement. We'll see by the end of the call. It's in the works right now, but we might have a new diamond on our team, so that's exciting. But I wanted to cover a topic today that I know a lot of people could use some help with, and that is sealing the deal or closing on your potential customers and coaches. Because I know you get so close, and then you bring up the price and then you get a money objection, or you bring up a certain date and they're not ready yet. So I really wanted to focus on how to kind of overcome that objection before it even happens. Before they even have the objection, you totally avoid it. So let me share my screen. Ah, crap, where'd it go? 1 second.
Good job, gorgeous baby.
Alrighty. Let me see if when I do presentation mode, can you still see me? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can still see me? All right, good. All right, cool. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about sealing the deal. There's some humor in this, so just to keep it lighthearted, we got some Justin Timberlake in there. All right. Alrighty, hold on. Why isn't it changing? Is the slide changing? Okay. Can you guys see the next slide? Yeah? Thumbs up? You see it? Okay. So I want to talk today about the S word, and I don't mean the S word like the dirty word. I mean the S word as in sales. So I know that we are not salespeople, and we do not market ourselves as salespeople. If you have your microphone on, I'm not sure who it is, I can't see, but could you please mute yourself? Thank you. Okay, so we are, like I said, not salespeople. I don't ever look at myself as a salesperson, but a lot of times we have that kind of, everyone looks at us like that. So we don't want to be salespeople, and the more you think you're being a salesperson, the more you will be a salesperson. The less you think about being a salesperson, then the less you will be. So when you're talking to people, you really want to get to know them. And what our job is we need to learn, we need to know how to help people make the decisions that they need to make for their health and for themselves. So it's not like we're making the decision for them, but we're helping them make the right decision because we know that we can help them. And by deciding to say yes, their life can really change. So I want you to look at it as you're peeling layers on people when you're talking to them, kind of like an onion. Or if you watch the movie Shrek, ogres have layers. Well, people have layers too, and we need to peel the layers of the people we're talking to so we can get to the core of what it is that they need help with, so that we can offer them a legitimate recommendation and not just okay, this is the best program for you because it's the best program for everybody and everyone should do it and everyone should do the 21-day fix because it's just so awesome. Maybe the 21-day fix is not for everyone, and you really want to find that soulmate program for somebody. It's when you find that soulmate program and you really help someone and it's something they enjoy doing, they can eventually, they're going to fall in love with what it is that they're doing. They might turn around and decide to become a coach because they love Shakeology so much and they love the program they're doing so much. And not to call you out, Jess, but I remember we were talking and I recommended TurboFire for you. And I don't recommend TurboFire for everybody, but I felt that TurboFire would be something that would really help you. And look at you now, you're a coach. So you fell in love with the program, and it's just when you really find that soulmate program, I'm sure you can vouch for that. It really changes your life. So that's what we want to do. We want to help people find that soulmate program. So I'm sure you've heard me say this several times. You want to be more interested than interesting. You really want to ask the right questions. And if you ask the right questions, people have no other option but to say yes. So a lot of times people automatically will ask you, oh, I'm interested in your group. How much does it cost? Or what is it? What do I need to buy? And you don't want to give them the information. So like somebody might message you and say, oh, can I have information about your program? You don't want to send them like, oh, here's my website, look at the program. Or like, oh, here's a pamphlet about the program. Well, not a pamphlet, but like a PDF about this program. Like, you don't really know what information they want. So by giving them all of that information, chances are they're either going to not read it or it's just going to be too much for them to digest at once, and then nothing's going to become of that. So you want to find out what it is they want to know, and that's what you're going to provide to them. So a lot of the very first thing that I always ask people when they reach out to me is, what interests you in this group? And they'll tell me like, oh, I want to lose whatever much weight, or I'm looking to get healthy for the holidays or whatever. And then I follow this series of questions. Now, the order of the questions is kind of strategic because it allows me to ask the question, get an answer, kind of like dig deeper and deeper and deeper through the layers of each, with each question. So you want to ask them what they've tried already, what's working and what's not. So if say they tried Insanity before when it first came out and they didn't like it, or it didn't work for them, or they tried lifting and that didn't work for them. Like, you're not going to recommend Body Beast if they hate lifting, and you're not going to recommend Insanity Max 30 if they didn't like Insanity. You really want to figure out what it is that this person needs. Also, you can ask them, how long have you been trying to lose weight? Or nutrition, that's a huge one. You always want to ask them about their nutrition, because 9 times out of 10, people struggle the most with nutrition. So by asking them about that, you're able to discover what it is with their nutrition that they struggle with. So maybe it's sugar. Maybe they have a sugar craving all the time. Well, Shakeology can help them with that, but you don't want to tell them yet. You want to keep that to yourself for now. You don't want to just like throw the product on them and be like, oh, Shakeology, I have the solution, because you don't know everything that they need yet. You just know like a piece of it. So then they might say something about how they don't eat a lot of vegetables as you're talking about nutrition. And then, well, Shakeology is the most delicious tasting vegetable, if you ask me. So that's another thing that you have in your back pocket, but you don't want to let them know that yet. You want to hold on to that information for now, because you want to keep asking questions, because you have some more layers that you need to peel. So you always want to ask about injuries, because if somebody has like bad knees, you're not going to recommend Insanity Max with a lot of jumping, but there is a modifier, so you can mention that. It's just good to know for safety reasons what your potential customer or client has injury-wise. Also, you want to ask them what they like to do, because fitness is something that you need to love it, or else you're not going to do it. So if they hate dancing, don't recommend size. They're not going to do it. Also, these next couple questions are really allowing the person to dig deep into themselves. So I ask them, when you look in the mirror, describe to me what you see and how you feel. And they can get pretty emotional, and they'll tell you a lot of things about themselves that they either don't like, or things that they really do like about themselves, but they would like to improve. And that'll really help you with their goals as well. What do you want to see and feel when you look in the mirror? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to make a change today? Typically, once I go through all these questions, I'll get anywhere like a 7, 8, 9 to 10. Like, I don't get anything lower than a 7 or an 8, because I've really taken the time to know the person. And then this last question is critical, because this has helped drive the value of getting healthy. And a lot of times you'll talk to people and they'll think you're going to help them for free. And while we would all love to help people for free, we can't do that. So by saying, why is your health a financial priority right now? What makes your health valuable to you? It really makes them stop and think, like, why do I want this? I know I'm going to be putting money. I'm saying financial, saying valuable. So they're getting that idea that, okay, this is going to cost me money. But after going through all these questions, they're really already convincing themselves, like, I need to do this for me. Another thing that you can do, though, when you're asking these questions, if there's something that that resonates with you, you want to relate to that, you can take it off topic and like get off topic on purpose. I do that all the time. And like I was talking to a girl today, and she was talking about Dunkin' Donuts, and then we got off on this little tangent about Dunkin' Donuts and pumpkin spice and how I used to stop after, like, on my way to class, on my way back from class, on the way, like everywhere, every time I left my room or my house, I would go to get Dunkin'. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I totally went off on a tangent. I have a tendency of doing that. I'm sorry. And then I brought it back. But it's more of like a real conversation when you're doing that. And it's not so much like, okay, how quickly can I get through this script so that I can get you to order from me? And it doesn't seem like that. So that's super important too. Okay, why isn't it changing? Crap. Okay, so this is another helpful way to remember when you're talking to people. You're really talking to them to get to know them. You're not talking to them to make a sale, although that is the result of these conversations. That's not the main purpose. So I'm sure many of you have heard FORM before. We have some newer coaches, so I'm going to quickly go over that. FORM is an acronym for family, occupation, recreation, and message. So basically, when you're talking to people, you're reaching out to people, you want to talk about their family, ask them about their kids. Do they have pets? Pets or family? Ask them about just how long have they been married, if you see that they have a wedding photo on their Facebook. Occupation, what do you do for a living? What's your job? How long have you been working there? Like, what got you into that? Recreation, what do you do for fun? What are some things you like to do with the kids? What are some of your favorite hobbies? And then message, that's the invite. You're going to invite them to be a coach if you've had enough information, which you probably wouldn't just by talking to them about their family and stuff, but you might. Or you want to invite them to a free group or a challenge group. But this is another one that I found that I think is really cool. It's Sign. So this is super helpful when you're talking to people about coaching. You want to identify their strengths so that you can turn around and tell them, these are all the reasons why you would make an amazing coach. Those are strengths. You also want to talk to them about their interests. So what are some things that they're interested in, fitness or health-wise, that you can turn around and say, this is why you'd make an awesome coach, because you're really into lifting and I see that you're working out a lot and stuff like that. You also want to know what their goals are. So just like when you sign up to be a coach, you make a vision board, you make a goal list. Why not start asking them before they're even a coach? Because then it really helps them paint that picture for what is to come. And then needs. What do they need? Do they need to be able to spend more time with their family? Or do they need more money to do things? Do they need to, maybe they want to put their kids through school and they need money to do that. Or maybe everybody has a need, and we can fill that need with coaching. There's so many ways that coaching can help people. So the better you understand how coaching can help somebody, and the better you can communicate that to them, the better off the more success you'll have with this. And I wanted to, hold on, sorry. Okay, yeah, so here comes the cat humor. All right, so you're on a roll, a yes roll, that is. So basically, when you're asking a lot of questions, it's super handy to get them to say yes, 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 as much as possible, so that when you get to the end and you're ready to close, they're kind of like inclined to just say yes, because they've been saying yes, yes, yes all the time. And the way to do that is to ask them questions that you know they can't say anything but yes to. So if you're asking them about their goals, so say they tell you they want to lose 10 pounds and they want to feel better and fit in their jeans, just reiterate that back to them. Be like, okay, so you want to lose 10 pounds, right? Yeah. And you want to lose that by the end of the year. Is that correct? Yes. So you're basically just taking what they're telling you and making it a question, spitting it back out at them so that they're just going to respond yes. And once you say yes so many times, it's hard to say no. I don't know if that's like a logical thing, but or a sciencey thing, but I mean, it works. So that is a little trick that you guys can use. Also, if they say something, if they give you like a really long message and they explain their goals or whatever, and they want to lose this, this, and this, they struggle with their, they really want to get tone, they struggle with gaining muscle mass, whatever it is, and you want to communicate that back to them. So you want to be like, okay, so let me just make sure I understand you correctly, because I want to make sure that I really know what it is that you're trying to achieve. And you just reiterate everything they said in your own words. Then it really allows them to see like, okay, this person really is listening to what I'm saying. They're taking it and they're making a plan to help me. And it's not just like they're following a script or something, because, you don't want to sound like you're following a script. That's why you kind of want to add your own little personal flair in there. It's kind of more of a guideline. So by doing that and rephrasing what they're saying, you're showing them that you're paying attention to them. And something that I learned from Tony Robbins too, like if someone says, I want to look amazing come New Year's Eve when my husband comes back from, he's in the service, so when he comes back home, I want to look amazing. And you tell them, all right, awesome, girl, I'm going to you're going to look so fantastic when your husband comes home. Well, amazing and fantastic might mean the same thing to you, but amazing and fantastic might not mean the same thing to that person. So you want to use the words that they're using. If they say they want to look amazing, then you want to use that word amazing. Or if they say, people have different words that they say. So maybe the girl you're talking to says, I want to get rid of my mommy tummy. Then use that word, because that'll establish the connection between the two of you, because people trust people who are like them. And if you're using the same words as them, you develop that rapport with them, and it's easier for them to like develop that trust in you. Okay, no more cat humor. Okay, this one's kind of gross, but do not verbally vomit on people. It happens. I've done it in the past when I was a new coach. I just got so excited that somebody messaged me and I wanted to tell them everything that I knew about the challenge pack, and it's so amazing, and it helped me lose all this weight, and here it comes with Shakeology, and then it comes with these containers, and they're so cool. And like I would send this long ass message and then nobody would respond. And I'm like, what the hell? What did I do wrong? I didn't take the time to like actually talk to the person. I just kind of verbally vomited all over them like this poor little cat here. So don't do that. Learn from my mistakes and don't do that. You really want to empathize. That's a hard word to say. Empathize with people and really be a friend to somebody. Like if you think about it, would you want to read all that information and sift through that if I gave that to you? Like, I know I wouldn't. So you don't want to do that. You really want to listen to what people are saying, and you want to build that bridge and find that common ground. Like I said before, the girl I was talking to today, we bonded about Dunkin' Donuts, and we had like a little mini 5-minute conversation about Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and then brought it back to, oh yeah, crap, I remember I was talking to you about this group. I'm so sorry. So as soon as you find something that you can relate to, maybe they have 2 kids and you have 2 kids. Maybe they have a boy and a girl and you have a boy and a girl around the same age. That's something that you can relate to. It could be anything. It could be as silly as like you both really love peanut butter or something like that. And I don't know why I always use peanut butter as an example, but I use it for a lot of things. But yeah, it could be as simple as that. So any little thing that you can find that you can develop that rapport with somebody, use that. also, I already mentioned this, going off topic and then building that trust. So I'm just going to go to the next one. Okay. So people don't want to know everything about the science behind Shakeology and every ingredient, and they don't want to know about muscle confusion and the science behind the programs and all that stuff. Because, I mean, maybe 1% of the population is interested in that and really wants to know. But chances of the person you're talking to wanting to know that are very slim. So people want to know, does this work and will it work for me? And the best way to do that is by sharing stories. So maybe you don't have a killer transformation story, and that's okay because not everybody has that transformation story. Danielle Natoni is like freaking rock star coach, and she does not have a transformation story because when she started as a coach, she was already fit as hell, and she's fitter now, but she doesn't have that huge transformation story. So there are people on your team who you can share their story. There are so many other people that you can share their story. If you see somebody post about, like someone on our team, I know Amber had posted not too long ago about her success with the program and how much weight she lost and how great she feels. You can take a screenshot of Amber's status and share that. Say, my girl Amber felt that way too, but she started the program, we worked together, and she just posted this a couple days ago. And you can share photos, you can share any of the photos in the team page that we have. I mean, you can even go on Google and look up a photo of somebody who looks not visually similar, but maybe you're talking to somebody who's around 35 years old, maybe they're a mom. Find a before and after photo, like a Beachbody one, of somebody who is around the same age, has similar goals to what the person you're talking to has, and share that with them, just so they can see that it works. Also, too, as far as Shakeology goes, our Coach Basics, the Shakeology lesson, when people are doing that lesson, they're sharing their Shakeology story. You can also post in the team page, I'm talking to somebody who has thyroid issues. Does anybody have a story that I can share with her? Just always be looking up success stories of how Shakeology helped with this or how this program helped with this. So you have like a story in your back pocket that you can share when you're talking to people. Because the facts tell and stories sell, and you really want to hit home with a story. Also, when you're talking to people, you want to use their name instead of like, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl all the time. It's okay to say hey girl. I say hey girl a lot, but you don't want to say that all the time or send that out to everybody, because then it kind of looks like a generic message that you just copy pasted. It really doesn't take that much time to copy, paste, change the name, send. So if you can get their name in there, it's just better that you have their name. Like, so Emmy, what I'm understanding is blah, 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 blah. Does this sound correct? Is more powerful than like, so girl, like, what am I don't know, like, hey girl, hey Emmy. When you're saying somebody's name, it lights them up inside. It makes them feel special and makes them like, you're really paying attention to who they are, and you didn't just copy and paste it and send it to like everyone in your friends list. Okay. I can't see this one. All right, so now it's time to close on your sales. So, not even sales, just your potential customers and clients. Based off of all the information they've given you, they've told you about their goals. They told you what worked and what didn't work. They told you about nutrition, where they struggled. Maybe they mentioned sugar. Maybe they mentioned they don't eat enough vegetables. Now you can make a solid recommendation for them about a program that will work for them, that you know they will enjoy, and about Shakeology. So the best way to do this is assume the sale. Use phrases like when you sign up instead of if you sign up. You always want to go into it assuming that the person is going to say yes, because if you go into it thinking like, oh, they're going to think it's too much money, or oh, they're not going to do it now, they just had a baby or whatever, then they're not going to do it. So you need to just go in there thinking this person is going to sign up as a coach, or this person is definitely going to say yes. We talked to them about their goals, and I know this is the best choice for them, and this is just going to be a yes. They're going to say yes. And you need to believe in yourself too. That's a whole nother team call, but you need to have a belief in yourself. Also, you want to be the leader. Like, you don't want to be a superior to them, like making them feel like they're not as important as you, but they came to you for help. So you want to be that leader, and you want to show them that you're giving them what they wanted. They wanted your help, and that is what you're giving them. Don't pull the objection out of them. Don't say things like, oh, like if you're talking to a coach, oh, like it's not a pyramid scheme, but a lot of people think it is, and but it's not. Like, maybe they weren't thinking that, but now maybe they are because you told them that. So don't go in there thinking like, oh my God, they're going to think it's this. Oh, they're going to think it's expensive. And, oh, it's really not that expensive. Like, you don't have to say that. Just don't think those things, or else they're going to think those things as well. So you don't want that to happen. Like I said too, don't believe it costs too much. Your potentials will think that too. I actually had a girl, like, I think it's a great deal. You're getting a program, like a full program. You're getting a meal plan. You're getting 30-day supply of Shakeology, which is delicious, and it's one less meal you have to plan. But I take that out of my grocery budget. I actually had a girl say to me, oh my God, that's so cheap. That's all it costs? I'm like, yeah, I know, right? Like, because I believe that. And I even posted that picture in the team page for proof, because I was like, nobody's going to believe me if I say that somebody said it was cheap. But I think it is, and I think it's a great deal. So I typically don't have as many money objections as I might have in the past when I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of expensive. Like, yeah, I can see why people think that. But you always want to empathize with them. And that leads me to my next point. So the customer is always right, even when they aren't. That's something that I learned when I was working at a 9-to-5 job too. Like, no matter how much they were wrong, they were right. So don't ever argue with somebody about Shakeology or a challenge pack. It's honestly not worth your time or your breath or your energy. You want to agree with their objections. So if somebody says that, oh, wow, I didn't think it'd be that much money, that's a lot of money, then you'll say, oh, I feel where you're coming from. I felt that way too. But what I found is I actually save money since I started drinking Shakeology, because I spend less at the grocery store, because that's one less meal that I need to pay for each day. And I take that out of my grocery budget for the month. And I'm actually saving money. Like, how cool is that? So when you agree with their objections, they're kind of like, oh, okay, well, okay, maybe she's right. So you don't ever want to argue. It's just not worth your time or energy. And no doesn't, like I've said this so many times, but no just means no for right now. It doesn't mean no forever. Just means I'm not ready right now. And you don't want to take an objection personally, because sometimes people are just afraid to tell you no, and they will drag you around like I don't even know, I'm trying to think of something to compare it to, but they'll just drag you around and like, oh, maybe next month, or, oh, maybe I'll be ready next month, or like, they're going to keep doing that to you. So don't be afraid to ask them, like, listen, tell them, like, I'm not going to take it personally if you tell me no. So don't be afraid to tell me no, because, like, honestly, it's doing you a disservice that they're not telling you what they want or what they don't want. So just ask them, like, I say this too. I'm like, am I being annoying? I'm really sorry if I'm being annoying, but if you really don't want to do this, just tell me, because I don't want to keep bothering you. Or just tell me, because I'm not going to take it personally. I just want to help you. And if you don't need that help, or you don't want me to help you, then I don't want you to think I'm like making you or forcing you to do anything. Just let them know that you don't care. Like, you really don't care. If they say no, and you're not going to go home, cry, and then like eat a bag of M&Ms, like, it's not going to be the end of the world. So, all right. And then this is just another acronym that I kind of went over it a little bit. How don't give them too much to think about. Don't send them to your website. So keep it simple, stupid. I know Kelly said that last week on our call too. The acronym for that would be KISS. So don't give them too much to think about. You know, like too many options aren't good. You know, when you go to a restaurant and like there's 15,000 things that you can pick from and you have no idea what to pick and then it takes you like forever to decide. Don't give them like, here's all the challenge packs that I have to offer you. Go look through them and let me know what you like. They're probably not going to pick anything because there's too many to choose from and it's not specific to their goals. So don't do that. You can also share a video or details about the challenge group when you're talking to them. So you can share a video of a program that you think they would like, or just explain to them details about the challenge group. But you want to let them know that there are limited spots. So saying like, oh, I only have 3 spots left, and I really would love for you to be a part of this. I know how much it can help you. I know you wanted to do X, Y, and Z, and you wanted to achieve this goal, and I know that this will help you achieve that. So you want to create that sense of exclusivity and a sense of urgency, like you need to get your butt in now because, well, maybe not that way, but the spaces are limited, and I want to make sure I'm holding you a spot. I want to make sure that you're in. So, because if you're not, I want to offer that spot to somebody else who's 100% ready to go. I have an example. I want to open it up on my phone. I didn't want you guys to see like the names of the people just for their own. Hold on. Yeah, but you like your group. If you look at your group as something that is valuable, like you handpick the people that are in your group. If you don't want somebody in your group, like you don't have to take them in your group. So you want people to know that like I'm reaching out to you or I am choosing you because I know that this group can really help you. It's going to be, let me find it so I don't just keep talking. Where'd it go? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I basically say, like, what I need to know is if you're 100% all in, I'm very selective over who gets one of the spots in my groups. The accountability is insane, but if people start dropping off, it affects the morale of the group. So I handpick my participants based off of commitment level. Can you commit that you'll give 100% effort and not give up? So I'm basically letting them know, like, dude, like, I hand chose you. Like, this is such an awesome opportunity for you, and you don't want to miss out on this. So it creates that sense of urgency. All right, I had to switch to the dogs now too. So don't beg. You're not a dog. Don't beg. You are valuable, and your time is valuable. So don't waste your time begging people to join your challenge group. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Move on and ask more people. And then follow up with them maybe in a few days, but don't come off like you're begging because that's just not, I mean, it's only cute when you're a dog, so don't beg. Don't waste your time on people too, because like I said, your time is valuable. Don't try to convince people. People might say like, oh, coaching's not for me, like, and you've talked to them, you did the I feel, I felt, I found. I'm not saying like to give up when people tell you no, but if somebody is like dead set, like, no, I never want to do this, stop talking to me, I hate Shakeology, I don't want to do it. Don't waste your time trying to convince somebody who's already like in their mindset that they hate Shakeology and they're never going to coach, when you could be using that energy, reaching out to people who really would love to do this and would love the opportunity. I have found that every 10 people you invite, you get 1 yes. So if you want to invite, if you invite 50 people, you should be getting Success Club 10. You should be getting at least 5 people to say yes. So if you want to hit Success Club 20, you need to invite like 100 people then, because you need to help 10 people. So every 10 you should get 1 yes. Also the funnel analogy, I'm not sure, I don't think I posted that call on our team page, but I will. basically what the funnel is people, like, you're going to talk to somebody, they're not automatically going to be ready to be a coach sometimes, and they're not automatically going to be ready to be in a challenge group. You need to build your funnel, and it takes time to build that funnel. Like, it takes at least 3 consistent months of hard work to build that funnel. For example, a girl who I just signed up with a challenge pack today, I started talking to her in June. So she did not decide that she was ready until now. So I didn't give up on her. I kept in contact with her, and like, I would send her recipes every once in a while and just kind of keep her on my radar. But I wasn't messaging her every day, like, obnoxiously, like, oh, are you ready yet? Oh, are you ready yet? Because I was still like keeping her in contact. I had the event page. I invited her to the 21 days till Christmas group. She messaged me and said, okay, I think I'm ready now. I went through all the questions with her. She got signed up, and she's doing it. It works, guys. It works. So once you get in the momentum, you've been around for a little while, you have 3 consistent months of hard work, you're going to get more yeses quicker than you are when you're starting off. Because those people who saw you get started, they're going to wait a little bit to see if you're really going to stick to this, you're really going to stick around, and they're going to feel it out. Like, if you saw somebody was starting something, you would watch them too and see how they're doing with it before you maybe hopped on too. So don't think that because you're not automatically getting yeses all the time that you're not going to be successful, because that is so far from the truth. There are a lot of times people who come back are people I've talked to months ago, and now they're like, all right, I'm ready. But I didn't waste my time like hanging up on them. I just kept asking more people, talking to more people. And it's kind of just like everyone's coming down the tornado or the funnel, I guess. And they're kind of funneling down like they're ready. So just keep doing what you're doing, and don't get hung up on one person just because they're telling you, oh, I'll be ready next month. Oh, I'll be ready next month. Well, that's good. Just follow up with them, but don't put all your eggs in one basket and bank on that one person. Like, if you have Success Club 4 and you have someone like, oh, I'm going to sign up on the November 29th. Don't put all your eggs in that basket that person's going to sign up, because I've seen it happen where somebody has Success Club 4 and they're going to get Success Club 5 with that one order, and that person bails. So don't do that. Always keep asking and always keep inviting. So that's all I had for slide-wise. But does anyone have any questions, or did anything stick out to you that was helpful? I'm hoping that was helpful. Any questions? If you have a question, you can unmute yourself. We have like a minute. No? Who's left? Some people bailed on us.
I've noticed here in the South, people have a problem with committing. They don't want to commit. And I have several flat out